Hello, welcome back to the letter, and let's see how far I can play this game with a cast. Monday couldn't come any sooner. After taking the floor plans from Ms. Santos the day before the last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling in my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, and the most pretentious everything. They usually did these rich types based from experience at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants takes the elevator up with me. It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she is going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance, but I'm safe from being paranoid when they went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The rights lived at the very top, the penthouse, the creme de la creme when it comes to condominium and urban living. Just getting access to the place was an ordeal of its own. I had to jump so many hoops, so many security checks just to secure the keycard, not only because of a building management, but because of Wright's personal security. It sometimes felt like I'm being interrogated for a crime and not visiting a client at their home. Come on. Even when their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil, Johans. The elevator door opens and I'm greeted by none other than Whiskey's not-so little lackey.
I do apologize if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting, but I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
I didn't mean to do that.
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon. I'm surprised to see you made it through security, and only 5 minutes late.
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teapot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for tea. I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Accepting with quiet and isolation instead, I brace myself for what's to come. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes or even 10. I sit in the living room just waiting. When the kettle starts whistling and the tea has been served, I continue to wait. At least the silence is relaxing, but then there's a crash. I nearly spill the tea all over my lap, and I look up, expecting security to come running. But even the man at the kitchen counter continued to fix breakfast like he heard nothing. I don't want to speak up about it, because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking, and I don't want to be the cause of burnt food, or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what that was, although I'm normally not this nosy. Joy. Is it right? Yeah. I'm very curious. Last time I went to check something, Zachary, I ended up killing him. So, I'll just continue waiting. I have no business with it. Rich people usually value their privacy above all else, after all. Unless, of course, they're posting pictures on social media bragging about what good people they are for allowing this host to be interviewed for some magazine. Then again, the whole reason I'm in this mess is because I don't give two shits about what's going on with people like them. And I'm not going to get caught snooping about and be accused of some imagined wrongdoing. I'm not going to be some busybody detective wannabe and run off to investigate whatever that was. Try to do something mundane like a lamp falling over. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Miss Wright, with my tea, in complete silence.
Could I at least put the telly on?
I don't really expect him to answer. If he hadn't heard the crash, I doubt he would have heard me.
As long as you don't watch some silly soap opera.
Oh, please don't watch any of those.
The LBC News would be fine. The William Walker Show is on too if you prefer that. Not that I watch it, but my husband does. The remote is under the coffee table.
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch the doc on. I heard they're having reruns of the classics and I want to see the second meet sixth in Spain. If not, just the news then. Thank you. I'll let you get on with your cooking now.
Did he just ignore the crash a while ago then? Whatever. Switching the remote, I turned the TV on in hopes of filling the silence. trying to anyway, because the thing won't turn on. And doesn't that make the silence more awkward, or what? I know I might not be the best with tech, but I'm sure I can work a simple television remote.
Batteries must be dead.
Well then. Oh wait, is that... It kind of looks like Hannah. Just a little bit, because of the blonde hair. There is blood everywhere. Help me, it says in red. Look at my own hands and find them clean, yet I can see my grisly reflection gaping back at me. I know there's nothing staining my skin. I feel the sticky and warm feeling of blood dripping down my cheeks. I should be worried, but instead I feel my attention drawn towards her. Her beautiful blonde hair, her soft lips with skin so fair and swaying hips. I want nothing more than to hold her, plant my lips on her neck, and run my fingers through her hair. She laughs and she smiles when she looks at me, but where are her eyes? Temptation is gone in an instant. I recoil, horrified at this reflection I am seeing, only to back into something, or rather someone. Miss Wright stands over, twirling a lock of blonde hair, a soft smile on her lips and a hand on her hip. I knew this. Whether it's actually Hannah or if it's one of the spirits from the mansion, but that blonde hair is definitely Hannah's. I almost back away, but I ground and remind myself that this is not my client. That this is my client, and whatever I just saw, well, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that perhaps I am going a bit daft. It would be preferable, of course, to think it was all the trick of the light, or the makings of an overactive imagination.
Good morning, Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Have you been standing there long?
No, I just came down and saw you were having a hard time with the telly. We must have forgotten to change the batteries. Are you all right, dear? You're looking a bit pale. Haven't you had breakfast yet?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast already, Mrs. Wright. I just need...
Well then, you mustn't have had enough breakfast. I'm all for a good diet, but that's the most important meal of the day. Johans is cooking up pancakes. Pancakes will make anyone feel better, he always says. We can sit down and tuck in. You'll feel right as rain once we get some fluffy, syrupy goodness in you. And are you sure you're fine, Marianne? You're shaking.
Looking down my hands, I can see them trembling. Really, just because she looks so much like her, I'm becoming a damn train wreck. Oh, wait. Does Hannah resemble the person that was referred to with Marianne? Oh, that makes okay. I've been seeing her in my dreams and hearing her voice ever since I met Miss Wright at the mansion. So many blondes in the world. What was different with her? Okay. I'm not feeling too well. I just remembered something. No, I'm not feeling too well. I'm starting to go mad. I am. What to do? Aww. Oh. But okay. But there is work to be done, and the clock isn't going to stop ticking while I go about having a breakdown. I should go to the loo, splash harder in my face, snap out of it. At least until the end of the day, if I can just last that long.
I think I just need to excuse myself for a minute, if that's all right.
She places a hand on my arm, gently as she can be.
What? No. What if you suddenly fall over or faint while you're all alone? You can just sit down right here and I'll go get you a glass of water.
Or would you like some beer? That's how you are nowadays now. Drowning everything in booze.
No, I don't want anything to drink. Just...
So that's where the negative thing came from, because I chose that, it went in that direction, so that's why why it went negative. Okay. I must have said that forcefully, judging by the look on Miss Wright's face. But why does she care? It's not like we're friends. This is business. I'm either well enough to conduct it or not. Why would she pretend to be concerned when I am simply a means to an end? Just seeing Miss Wright reminds me too much of her. Maybe I'm trying to see and hear her again when I shouldn't be. I tried so hard to leave everything behind, to forget them and move on, but that small touch and her voice in my head nearly set me off the edge, and in an instant, all of her memories come flooding back in.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you like that. Just give me some breathing room, please. Just, please, give me a moment.
Damn. I clicked. She doesn't respond, and just before the situation gets any more complicated, Mr. Wright comes in.
Good morning, ladies. What a wonderful morning it is that I wake up to such a beautiful sight.
Okay.
I do hope you two are getting along. I smell pancakes. I do hope you two are considering a diet just so I can have them all to myself.
Don't be a pig, Luke. You eat all of those and you might stop fitting into your tight suits.
What? I'm not a pig. You don't think I'm a pig, do you, Marianne?
With a saucy smile and a playful wink, I can't help but think you are a bit of a pig.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm an interior designer, not a zoologist.
The only sows she must be familiar with are statement of works.
Well, don't be a bore. You two might not be in a rush, but I'm going to go ahead and feast.
If you dawdle too long, he'll hog all the syrup.
Rich people are so eccentric.
Come on then, we can discuss business over food.
There's no denying the clients when they invite me over to the table. Though it is too personal to share a meal in their home, it would be terribly rude to deny their invitation. Oh, that looks delicious. Besides, the pancakes did look and smell heavenly. A bowl of clotted cream, fruits and syrups, jams, and other spreads were laid out next to them, making for a colorful arrangement. If this was a brunch with friends, I would have gladly helped myself to the whole lot. But as it is, I accepted just a few pieces of pancakes and topped it off with lemons
You know,
and
I
sugar.
was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables.
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey. You don't handle exterior designs and whatever handles those sorts of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there? Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC, as well as the old owners. Everything has been paid in full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please. It's not like they were living there in the first place.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it. First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernize the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances.
Yeah,
You
makes
worked
sense,
on
yeah.
the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before. Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
Customize appliances then. I can't find someone for that, and if you can't tell me what you specifically want, it'll hasten up the process. We're talking about electronic appliance manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda? All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
I stop. Sort of half-baked designer did that. If I knew who they were, I would have words. This isn't time or place, however. Instead, I used this brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with me.
We'll have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run through.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
Let me see. Where's the master bedroom? Music room, basement, hall. Am I looking at the wrong side? I'm probably looking at the wrong side. Master bedroom. Probably bathroom, balcony, quarters. I mean, it all looks normal. It's probably a bathroom.
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts.
I'm trying to figure out where he's seeing this other room. He's probably talking about the quarters, maybe? I don't know.
Used, apparently, for the ladies in waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde, which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of houses.
Really?
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit. You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
I love fashion. But do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear?
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet. Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things. Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over. Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
1, you are not inviting that witch. And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in. We don't need a children's room, and you don't even do arts and crafts.
So this is one of
I'd
those
like to turn the
first
guest
hints.
room and the study into my personal office, by the way.
One of those
if you
first,
don't mind.
one of those first hints about it. Her wanting a kid.
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. The real problem is the
sorry.
theater.
Sorry.
Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
Fine, we could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea.
Okay.
By the looks of things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room, right there, in the northwest corner?
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
Oh, that is perfect! Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in. It'd be convenient so they don't have to make the trip from Luxbourne to the mansion when they're needed.
You'll definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought. Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because of what happened.
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again.
Oh, I used to play piano.
Oh, you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless. He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too, and I'd dance, and it was just...
Mr. Wright playing the piano, I can't imagine it. But the earnest way in which Miss Wright said so otherwise.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage? Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theater, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
Oh, Joy, I get to pick. I want to agree with Hannah. I really want to agree with Hannah. It sounds fair, yes, and yeah, it does sound fair. Let's see what happens to it. Luke went down, Hannah went up. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that more. I like that more. Okay, Miss Wright has her points though. I really didn't want to butt into the spat of a husband and wife, but with the way the two were looking at me to settle this, I might as well just keep the facts instead of giving opinion.
Mr. Wright, your plan isn't quite feasible from an architectural perspective. I'm not even sure how much we can do without closer inspection. Well, the one about the garage, at least. A walk-in closet is easy enough, but the garage?
See, a garage isn't architecturally feasible, and it isn't going to be financially sound as well. We're already going to spend a lot on your other requests. You have several acres of land to park on already.
What? Did you calculate that on the fly? Financially sound my foot. You're probably just thinking up of imaginary numbers.
Might I remind you that I was a financial manager? I also looked over and approved the expenses of our other houses. I know the rough costs of these things by now, love. Masters in business administration, major in accounting. Sometimes I think you forget that I'm not as dumb as I act.
Oh yeah, she is definitely a lot more intelligent than people give her credit for. That catch my attention more than anything. It sounds more unbelievable than Whiskey playing the piano. Oh, come on, click. She really didn't seem like the type.
Business administration and accounting? What university?
Luxbourne U, of course. Go Lux Dragons, red and gold.
Excuse me, how about we move on this chit-chat ahead and do whatever else needs to be done sometime today? I had to cancel my appointments for this, you know. We might as well do a proper inspection with the designer this time, just to get it out of the way.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief. But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
It's not like I have much of a choice, do I? No, and you know what? I'll end it there because it takes less time to edit a shorter video. And yeah, again, because of this. So that was part I don't remember. Fuck. Of the letter. And let me know what other stuff I can do. Like what other like, you know, visual novels and stuff I could play that I can play with this cast on. And hope you enjoyed. Check out other videos I've done and, you know, see you next time. Bye bye.